Mike was good at everything he did. I noticed when he was little, being 4 years younger, if he picked up a football, he threw it like a natural. If he picked up a baseball, he threw it like a pitcher. If he picked up a bat, he'd hit a home run. I worked at Westwood Country Club. I think he was at the point where he was giving golfers advice. See young kids, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, they look like they're a little gangly or they're stumbling. Mike was always, very smooth. Everything he did, he was just a natural.
Oh, Michael was always known as a quiet guy. He was never very loud or boisterous or anything like that. He hung around with the guys in the neighborhood, Danny Coyne and Matt Brady and that, and they played baseball together in the summer. And when basketball season came along, they played together. Mike was, like I say, he was a low-key guy until he became involved in the game. He was very, very competitive, He wanted to get it done, and he wanted to win, and he liked to win.
One of the great things about Mike is off the field, off the course, he's the most affable, easygoing guy. And if you judged him off the court, you'd think, oh, he's not that competitive. But you get him on the court, and it's relentless. He's focused, he's engaged, and he's always a good sport, but he's hyper competitive, and you pair that with being a great natural athlete, and that's how Mike was able to accomplish what he did.
Relentless. Michael could play multiple positions. He could play the 2 through 5. He was relentless, high energy, extremely long, athletically. He could defend multiple positions. He could really get out and run. He could score multiple ways. He ran the floor like a deer. He had a very high IQ, and he was extremely competitive. And that's who I wanted to be. So as I grew up through the ranks and I ended up choosing St. Ignatius and coming to St. Ignatius, I always wore number 44 and 45 because that's the number Mike McNally wore, and that was my first quote-unquote idol as I watched the St. Ignatius basketball program.
Mike was very important to the program because here you have a taller kid that could shoot from the outside. Things were changing, obviously, and the three-point shot comes along in 1987. So again, you're bringing people out that used to just play under the basket, and Mike was able to make that transition. My brother Bob, his brother Sean were before us, and we learned from them. And I think that helped a lot by just going to their games and experiencing what we saw in the 70s. And it really helped us into the 80s.
I remember being back maybe in the third grade, so Mike was in fifth grade. I'm like, this guy's a special talent. He could shoot. And watching games on TV, and I'm like, this guy's got a touch like a lot of these guys. He was just a special player. He would dive after loose balls. He would dive in the stands. There could be anything on the floor or on the court, outside of the court. He wouldn't matter. He would dive after the ball. Always scrapping. Can jump out of the gym. Team player. Like I said, a fantastic shot. The ball was going up. That ball was going in, and it wasn't going to bounce off the rim. It was going to swish a lot of the time. It's just a great player.
Mike had the dedication to always get better. I remember him shooting mid-range jumpers, repping it out, as well as close jumpers around the basket. And at that point, there wasn't a three-point shot. So Mike really was determined to become one of the best shooters, and he did. And that was just through pure hard work. He'd go down to my basement, which was we nicknamed Vic's Gym. We had a billy club down there from a police officer from New York who was my dad's war buddy. Hooked a rope to it, put some weights on it, and we would just do forearm curls or turns, all to help him with his shooting and playing in the game of basketball.
The St. Ignatius Hall of Fame is one of the hardest committees to be on because there are so many deserving, but Michael definitely deserves this honor. He was second team All-State. He averaged 22 points as a senior, which at St. Ignatius in the schedule we play, he averaged 17 points as a junior, and it was more than just offense that he brought to the table and brought to the floor. The leadership, the spirit, the relentlessness, the hustle. You wanted to make him proud every time you stepped on the floor. My only regret is I wish Coach Chambers was here to help induct him, because Coach Chambers was a huge impact on him and all of us. And obviously, Father Time, he's undefeated, and Coach Chambers will definitely be smiling down from above on the night of induction.
Very proud of Mike. It's very well deserved. He's probably one of the greatest athletes to come through St. Ignatius High School. And along with St. Ignatius putting us in a position to be able to do that. We were Division I, and then there was AAA back then. It gave us the platform to excel. Being at such a great school like St. Ignatius, like I said, he's been a natural. My dad's proud of him. It couldn't have come at a better time for Mike in his life.
Well, coming to these games, like when I was in 7th and 8th grade, we played our city championship game here in 8th grade, and after that game, I played pretty good in that game, and I kind of felt like it was a good place to come to. Of course, you know, seeing my brother here all 4 years and how well they did. You know, you saw the fans, you saw the alumni, and just the energy. It made you play better, you know, and it made you play hard. And I didn't feel like I was ever tired. I don't think I ever came out of a game. So it's, yeah. So I just loved it.